Hello! Today we're talking about the future. Actually, we're talking about access and digitization. Basically, ways for people to either access your records in person or by creating a digital system for computer or online access. Preserving records without providing good access does not make sense. That said, simply digitizing or scanning records does not mean you're preserving them or easily providing access, but more on that later. Typically, the first thing researchers or other visitors will come across is your reference area itself. And there are three key aspects to keep in mind to ensure that that space is both user-friendly and protects your collection. Security. Does your space provide a secure place to allow the public to review materials? Staffing. Do you have staff or volunteers present at all times when original records are in use? And regulations. Do you have written access policies in place for your research area? We'll get back to some good ideas for these in just a minute. For the physical space, you'll want to keep these things in mind. There should be somewhere for researchers to leave their belongings. A coat rack area with lockers is a good idea. There should also be a place where guests can fill out paperwork for requesting collections. You'll want to make sure you have desks that are large enough for researchers to spread out. This is also good because you'll be able to see what they're doing. This all might sound very restrictive, but it's super important to balance security and the researcher. After all, these are one-of-a-kind documents and they need your protection. Now let's circle back to a concept we addressed earlier, developing a set of rules for your reference room. First of all, you should make sure all visitors or researchers show photo ID before they use your collections. Next, all pens, bags, food, and drink should be prohibited from being anywhere near your collection. In order to view a particular item in your collection, a researcher should fill out a request slip. It's good to know who uses what. You'll also want to have a policy on scanning or copying materials. This can vary depending on the material, especially if there's copyright considerations. Now let's dive a little deeper on digitization, or scanning records. Digitization means either turning a paper document into an electronic format, or creating a document digitally, which some people call born digital. Digitization isn't the same thing as preservation, and keeping your backup on site is not a good idea. That's why it's so important to back up all of your digital data at a separate location. The same event that ruins your archives could also ruin your copies. A lot of people expect everything to be available online, but there are multiple things to consider when responsibly and ethically preparing online collections. Digitizing collections can be a great method of access and preservation if the collection is heavily used or fragile. Other considerations to keep in mind. What will you use to digitize the records, and what will your standards be? If you're unsure, contact the Archives of Michigan for additional assistance. For example, high-resolution formats look great, but they take up a lot of disk space, whereas a small resolution file is manageable, but not as clear. But no matter what type of file you choose, keep everything clearly labeled and neatly organized on your system and on your backup. You'll be in great shape for transferring it to the next format when technology inevitably takes that next big leap. Thanks for watching, and please make sure to check out the rest of this series at savemichiganhistory.org.